Let's talk about niche. Let's talk about niche, baby. Listen, man, I know that word scares a lot of you, but niche is not what you think it is. Niche is not for snobs. Niche is not just for rich people. Niche is for people that want to experience some of the craziest fragrances, the craziest scents, the craziest notes, the craziest accords out there, things that you would never even think that people would put in a fragrance. Also, it gives you the opportunity to experience some of the highest level of perfumeries. Granted, I know a lot of you guys love the clone space, and I love it too, you know what I'm saying? And we're not abandoning that, so don't get scared. But there are levels to different things. And even though we have a lot of outstanding perfumers that have been working with the likes of Lattafa, French Avenue, and have been creating these beautiful, wonderful things, niche is still niche. And you guys know we love the Middle Eastern inspired takes, even though Middle Eastern has niche as well. Shout out to Amwatch. We love the designers as well, but I kind of want you to skip designer because the dupe market has kind of taken care of that anyway. And you can just go into Macy's if you want to get that. But yeah, I'm going to talk about a couple of niche fragrances here today that I think are interesting, that I've had the opportunity to get my nose on, experience that I think are dope. Some of these are going to be a little bit more accessible than others. There's only 4, so maybe I should say one of these, and then the other is just going to be one of the best things for fall. So yeah, I know you're not here to hear me run my mouth, so let me shut up. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's conversation. Yo, what's going on, party people, fat boy family? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's another Wednesday, which means it's hump day, which means it is niche day. Our opportunity to really kind of dive into some of the greatest unexpected things as it relates to perfumery. So if you're a niche head, if you've been wanting to learn about niche, if you want more exposure to those different types of things, feel free, click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post more content to the channel. Even if you're not a niche head, stay tuned, rock with your boy. You know I'm gonna make it worthwhile. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first one I want to start with, shout out to my good people over at Good Aroma. I say Good Aroma. It is Good Aroma, Black Aroma, for actually sending us over a new brand that is going to be making waves specifically here in the United States. But it's a house called The Street Scent, and this is via Dubai. But this is called In Vogue. You know what I'm saying? Not like the music group, but In Vogue. This is a beautiful, like juicy mango and rum and oud and amber type of fragrance. I know what some of you guys are thinking already. No, this is not God of Fire. This is not God of Fire. This kind of leans a little bit feminine, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? So the ladies, you're absolutely going to love this one, but it is this burst, this juicy burst of this beautiful, slightly sour, slightly sweet, slightly tart mango. Like this is more if you're eating more of a mango candy. So it may not necessarily be the most realistic mango, but it's this fresh, juicy mango that is enveloped. It is, that's a word I'm using these days. Enveloped, which means it's just hugged, by that amber, by that oud that I talked about, and the slightest bit of rum, with some powdery notes going on, the slightest bit of warm, spicy, especially as it dries down, that you're really not expecting, especially from the opening. And this is one of the things that I really like niche, because the opening is one way, the heart is another way, and then the mid, not the heart and the mid, and then the closing, the dry down, as we like to call it, actually surprises you. And so this is one of those ones that when you spray it, you're like, this is going to be all there is to it. But as it starts to develop, all of the things that I said that envelops that mango really start to come out. And the rum here is a nice touch. It's not super boozy. I don't want you to think like an Angel Share type of boozy with the rum of whatever, but it just gives it that tad bit more masculine nature. So it starts out thinking it's going to be a super feminine fragrance, and then it actually turns masculine. So this is going to be great, of course, for spring. Definitely, it's not so sweet that it's going to be cloying, so you can wear this in the summer too, especially in summer evenings. But fall, we're in a transitional season. Like this is going to be great for fall, even as it continues to get cooler. I think this would be great even in the cold weather as we get into November and December. really North Carolina, you don't know what you're going to expect. So probably January and February is when we really experience real winter around here. But I'm going to try to post a link in the description so you can get your nose on a decant or a sample. These are things that I want you, I wouldn't say this is safe blind buy, even though it kind of is because of the whole mango thing. Again, like I said, don't think God of Fire because I said oud, amber, and all those other things. This stays on the juicy side, but the dry down is definitely more masculine, warmer. You get some of that warm spice, beautiful. But I'm going to post a link to the description of everything in here just so you can get your nose on it and experience it. But this is a great take on just the note of mango from the House of Street Scents. We have In Vogue. All right, this next fragrance here would probably be the signature scent for the brand. You guys know I use a Panda. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my logo. It's part of Fat Boy Finesse. And when you think pandas, you think bamboo. And I have a fragrance here that smells like the greatest bamboo ever in life. I wouldn't think to wear bamboo, but this right here smells like a Japanese rainforest. From the House of Danam, we have Arashima. And I think I just butchered that. It's Arashiyama. Arashiyama. That's the other thing about Niche. It'll have you over here tripping. But a beautiful violet, woody, like this aquatic fragrance that has this fougere quality. But I want you to think like rain. And I know I've been talking about desert rain here lately. This point of comparison, like just for illustration purposes, I should say, not to say one is better than the other, but I want you to think rain, like desert rain, and then I want you to think rainforest. This smells like the rain forest. You have this beautiful, like not even so much earthy, but this beautiful, fresh, the slightest bit of sweetness and earthiness that's coming from that bamboo. And when you combine it with the floral nature you get from the violet, and just a green accord here, and it has rain notes in it. Like, this is a beautiful fragrance that honestly, on a day like today, it's actually raining right now. This is the type of fragrance that is aromatherapy. I talked about this on my live. This is what I would consider white noise. Like, this is something you put on when you can't sleep. For those of you who are insomniacs and you have trouble sleeping at night and you're like, man, I can't get to sleep, and you sleep with white noise, you know, you sleep with rain sounds. They took the concept of rain sounds, the sound of rain, and they put it in a bottle. Like, I smell what I hear, what I see. So now every single time, like today is raining outside, guess what I put on? I actually put this on. And because it's not just rain. People are like, I don't want to smell like rain. I don't want to smell like a wet dog. Like, it's not that, because you have the bamboo, you have the violet, you have those other things going on that gives this a beautiful, fresh, green, almost fougere quality type of appeal. But this is a beautiful fragrance, man. Beautiful, beautiful. This is not something I would have ever known about, nor I would have put my nose on. And that's why I like doing this playlist, this series every Wednesday where we talk about niche, because it gives you an opportunity to say, hey, I would have never known about that. So Fat Boy Finesse is trying to introduce you to that. But check this out again, link in the description on how you can probably sample this. But from the House of Danam, we have Arashiyama. I just like rolling my R's, Arashiyama. All right, now let's jump into a more familiar brand. Some of you don't even realize that one of your favorite Middle Eastern quote unquote dupe brands has like niche. Yes, there's a line out there called Niche Emirati, which is now under the House of Lattafa. And I have the real Angel Share dupe here, inspired by rendition. I have the best. Kismet is good. Cocktail is good. Let's get it straight. Kamra is not an Angel Share. I don't know who started that, but it's not. But from Lattafa Niche Emirati, we have Zikra. You get that sweetness, that warm spiciness, that vanilla, that booze, but the cinnamon here does what it's supposed to. Cognac does what it's supposed to. This is some of Lattafa's best work, as it should be. because this is niche. Niche also, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this because, I mean, we're getting great quality out of the clones, but niche also is supposed, I know this is not the case for everybody, but it's supposed to point to the highest quality. That's why it's always been about, you know what I'm saying, the price point. It was never supposed to be about exclusivity. People, not perfumers, people made it about exclusivity because of the price point. They were like, hey, I have this and you don't. So you know, it creates a class war. It draws that distinction. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, if you want Lattafa, this is going to cost you more than the average Lattafa. But if you want Lattafa, you want the highest Lattafa. You don't want Maison Alhambra. You want Lattafa, and you want Lattafa Pride. Then you want to take it up a notch. You want Niche Emirati Lattafa. And so this is some of their best work. Apps like this is Angel Share. Like, I don't subscribe to the whole one-to-one thing. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna say it. If you're looking for the best one-to-one out here, I think this is it. Like I said, it opens up pretty much the same, very similar. The nuances here, I honestly can't point any out, you know? And like I said, the rum, the cinnamon, the vanilla, the dry down, like it does what it's supposed to do, you know? So I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna just be a realistic human and say 90% to be nice, but like I would give this like a 95. I would get, and I'm not the biggest Angel Share person, you know, but I like it. It's cool, but it's not like a fave. Like I gotta have that. But as far as us just talking about the fragrance and Inspired by Tate, this is some of Lattafa's best work. So if you get a chance, I know I've talked about a lot of the hair stores, you can actually go in and smell this. But check this out. I'll still post a link in the description. That's Niche Emirati's Lattafa, and this is Secret. All right, and last but not least, shout out to my guy down in New Orleans, Louisiana, who has one of the best boozy fragrances out there, one of the best fragrances. This fragrance was made for fall. It was made for winter. From the house of Hez Parfums, we have Bourbon Street. My sample is officially done, so now I can really crack into this. You get that cinnamon, you get that bourbon whiskey, you get that tobacco, you get that vanilla bean, but what really kind of separates this is the apple. Man, there's some tonka bean in here. There's some sand, like, y'all, fire. If you are into warm, spicy, tobacco, woody, sweet, did I say warm? Type of fragrances, this is one of the best. I've talked about Ani. I've been talking about Naxos a lot lately. I don't know if I've done a separate video for Bourbon Street, but I'm going to do it. Bourbon Street deserves its own video, but consider this the introduction for those of you who don't know. Get the discovery set. Bourbon Street is in there, but this, if you're into that profile, this is Blind by Safe. Beautiful. The way the cognac and the cinnamon and the apple and the tobacco and the tonka come together. Hez, this is your masterpiece. This is your masterpiece. If I'm looking for the face of a brand, this is his masterpiece. So again, this is one of those ones. I'm just being honest, like honest to God. So this one you need to like get. But from the house of Hez Parfums, we have Bourbon Street. All right, so yeah, man, those are 4. There are many others. Like, you guys know I love Bond. We can talk about some Creed stuff. We can talk about some Parfums de Marly stuff. We can talk about the mainstream, the Initios and all those different types of things. And that's easy. We can talk about mind games. That's easy to do. And we're going to continue to talk about those. But I'm on a scent journey. You know, this is all about discovery for me. And this is about, okay, there's so much out here to get your nose on. There's so many things to experience. There's so many things to smell. And I know 9 times out of 10, the average person, you just want to smell good. And Lattafa, you're going to smell good. F9, you're going to smell good. Armaf, you're going to smell good. Like, these are things you're going to smell good. But if you're serious about perfumery, again, I'm not trying to draw, this is not about classism. This is not about elitism. This is not about priced and all of that. Understand, because there is budget-friendly niche. Mancera, budget-friendly. Goldfield and Banks, budget friendly. If you're shopping discounters, Algabra is budget friendly. There's some other things out there like Nishane is super budget friendly. You know what I'm saying? Like sub $100, like you can get on discounters. So it's not about the whole price thing. This is about experiencing perfumery. And designers, they have a cap. It's only so many designers. Middle Eastern, like the clone market, it's all over the place. But we see a lot of repetition in that. And what are they like cloning? They're cloning the niche. They're cloning the OG. So I want you guys to come with me as I'm experiencing more things. I want you to experience more things. Because if you're gonna pay $50 for a clone fragrance, you can save $50, wait the next check, take the other 50, and then just go get a Nishane Ani for $100. Or go get a Silky Woods for maybe like $100 or $115. Or like that purple suede, you know, for maybe like $135 or something like that. People is like, wait, like Bleu de Chanel costs more than that. Exactly. You can get a whole lot of niche fragrances cheaper than what Bleu de Chanel charge for l'exclusive. And you're not gonna find Bleu de Chanel on the discounter. And if you do see it, they're gonna get sued, so don't tell nobody. You see what I'm saying? Starting to make sense to you? Yeah, so do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But yeah, I appreciate you guys rocking out with me. We gonna talk about everything. Everything. Like, I'm trying to talk about designers more because they have the lowest numbers on my channel as far as content. Like, y'all love designers. If I look at the playlist, I'm like, dang, I gotta add some more designer content. And I have a lot of designers, well, that I like. Let me not say that. The designers that I like. Like, bro, like niche, there's so much out here. So I'm really just trying to get my nose on everything I can. And I'm grateful for the people and the opportunity that are like, yeah, and we want you to experience them too. So try this out. Nonetheless, man, y'all be easy. I'll catch y'all in the next video.